Hello everybody and welcome to another top 5 board gaming video. Today's topic is all about board game boxes. That is to say the aesthetics of the box opening, enclosures, and all of that kind of stuff itself. Not necessarily the box art, but just how the box sort of lends itself to the overall board game experience. It's a fascinating thing that I noticed when I was playing a couple of these on the list, and I'm really curious what you guys have to say about it. Do you find that simply opening a box can really enhance the experience of playing a game? Let me know any and all of your thoughts in the comments below. But with that, we're going to get started right off with my number 5. At number 5, I've got the very simple 5-minute dungeon. This is a rather unique game in that the box itself is structured to look kind of like an abstract hourglass. It's not a regular shape on it, and I find that to be really cool because it shows what the game is going to be about. You're talking about a time limit, you're talking about 5 minutes to play the entire thing, and so they show that by having the very standard or very well-known structure of the hourglass. It's a neat little nod to what's going on, but of course it is low on the list because it is a very minor detail. Regardless though, 5-minute dungeon, my number 5. At number 4, I've got Biblios. In this game, you're trying to track down scrolls and books and everything as an order of monks, and the thing is the game box is designed to look like a book. If you look at the spine of the box, it's structured the same way the spine of a book is, and on the other side, it looks like pages. In order to open the box, you flip it open just like this, it's magnetic, and then you open it just like you would a book. It's a really cool, relatively minor detail, but it tells you immediately what the game is going to be about thematically. Biblios, my number 4. At number 3, I've got Hydra. At first inspection, this really doesn't seem to be that interesting, but the thing is when you start to take it apart, you can really see what's going on. The actual Hydra symbol is not part of the main box itself. The main box is just a hole. And then after you take that off, then you have the Hydra symbol, and this actually unfolds so that we can reveal more of the game. So we see the good side, the bad side. We see information about the game itself. This is the game book, and I think it's just wonderfully fascinatingly well packaged. It's just really, really cool. And I like that they give you sort of the scope of what's going on. You have the very distinct good versus bad type of thing on either side of the box. It's just really neat, but again, it is still a regular box. You still have a regular little squared off box, but regardless, Hail Hydra, my number 3. At number 2, I've got Oney Tama. This is one of my favorite abstract games that really makes me reminisce about playing chess and that very intimate sort of tete-a-tete, 1 versus 1 type of thing that you end up seeing. So essentially, you've got the box that is, it's much taller than most and of course much thinner. And it opens in a relatively similar way to Biblios, where you've got a magnetic clasp on one side. As you unfurl it, it's almost like unfurling a scroll, is sort of the idea that it's meant to convey. And you can see we've got a really nice logo on one side. And then at the same time, we've got our little rule book here. And then our playmat is rolled up inside along with all of the pieces as well. So it's just a very nice, again, sort of aesthetic aspect where it's like you're unfurling the knowledge and you're going through and doing that and seeing everything that is inside. And of course, once you get the actual playmat out, then you do the same thing where you're unrolling it as well. So you get sort of that same feeling when you're actually setting up the game itself as well. Oney Tama, my number 2. At number 1, I have the very simple Bang. It's a game that's shaped like a bullet, and the entire point of the game is that you're trying to figure out who's on your team and you're trying to shoot the people who are not. So what better way to convey that idea than to put everything in the shape of a big bullet? Of course, it is a very simple design. It is a very simple game, but I honestly have never seen a game that conveys so well what it's about through the combination of the name and the structure of what it comes in. So very simply, Bang is my number 1. Well everybody, that's it for me. I hope that you enjoyed this video on my top 5 favorite board game boxes and mechanical structures and things like that. So this is something that I'm particularly curious about. You guys know I'm not big on aesthetics when it comes to board games at all, but I like the idea of how these games sort of put you in the mood and in the game itself and immerse you in it, even if you don't really realize it at the time. So it's kind of a cool thing to get into a game before you even start setting it up. up. And of course, it'll make people pick it up off the shelf as well, which is always helpful. But of course, please let me know any and all of your own thoughts in the comments below. You guys know I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what games you think have a very fascinating packaging and why, because I would love to see them and I'd love to hear more about them. So with that, thank you very much again for watching. Hope that you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time.